Have you ever wondered what happens to the human mind when it is pushed beyond its limits? What if sleep wasn't just a necessity, but a barrier, keeping something far more terrifying at bay? In the 1940s, during the height of the Cold War, Soviet scientists conducted a secret experiment, one so horrifying that its existence was erased from official records. 5 prisoners were locked inside a sealed chamber, forced to stay awake for 30 days using an experimental gas. What started as a simple test of sleep deprivation soon spiraled into something unimaginable, something inhuman. The results? A nightmare, beyond comprehension, a terror that may still exist in the shadows of history. Stay with me as we uncover the chilling truth behind the infamous Russian sleep experiment. But be warned, once you know the story, you might never sleep the same way again.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
In the 1940s, during the Cold War, the Soviet Union conducted terrifying human experiments. One of the most disturbing was the so-called Russian sleep experiment. A group of scientists designed a test to study the effects of extreme sleep deprivation on the human body. To do this, they selected 5 prisoners of war and locked them inside a sealed chamber. There would be no contact with the outside world, only microphones to record their conversations and small observation windows. The objective was simple: to keep them awake for 30 days using an experimental gas that was constantly pumped into the room. At first, everything seemed normal. During the first few days, the prisoners talked to each other and shared stories from their past. Their conversations were calm, but over time, they became darker. After the 5th day, they began to show signs of paranoia. They whispered incoherent things, spoke to themselves, and interacted less and less. Some of them just sat there, staring at the walls, as if seeing something the others couldn't. On day 9, something disturbing happened. Suddenly, they stopped talking. No more whispers, no movement, no sounds at all. The scientists thought the microphones had failed, but when they checked through the observation windows, what they saw left them speechless. One of the prisoners was dead. His body had been torn apart, his flesh ripped off in strips. But the most terrifying part was what the other 4 were doing. They had smeared themselves with his blood and were eating his remains, like starving animals. When the scientists announced over the intercom that they would open the chamber to inspect, what had happened, the prisoners begged and screamed. They didn't want to leave. They pleaded to be kept inside, saying that the gas had set them free. The researchers decided to end the experiment and opened the door. What happened next was a massacre. The prisoners attacked with inhuman strength, killing several guards before being subdued. Some of them had their own organs exposed, but they were still alive. When they were asked why they had done such horrible things, one of them stared directly into a scientist's eyes and whispered something that would haunt them forever. "We are what has always been inside you. We are what comes out when you close your eyes and sleep." Shortly after, all the prisoners died, and the experiment's records were destroyed. The Soviet authorities denied its existence, but rumors spread across the world. To this day, some believe that the gas used in the test is still being studied in secret, and that those who inhaled it never really died. Maybe the next time you go to sleep, you'll feel like something is watching you in the dark. Don't worry, it's just the part of you that has always been waiting to wake up.